A new study sparks calls for social workers to get more support as they struggle with anxiety in the face of the pandemic. And for more on this, we're joined by Evelyn Lai, Honorary Secretary, Singapore Association of Social Workers. Evelyn, picking up from this new study, it showed, one of the findings was that social workers with fewer than 3 years of experience experienced more stress than social workers with more than 6 years of experience. Now, this is a stressful job, but is there any way to calibrate the workload of social workers depending on how long they've worked so that they are eased into the work that they have to do before they burn out, as it were?
I see. Okay, so social work by itself is a very dynamic and adaptive profession. And what we do very much depends on the needs of the society and, of course, the trends that are upcoming as well. So I would say that it's not just about the workload. It's actually enabling our social workers to be equipped with the right capabilities to meet the demands on the ground. And so if we were to think of how can we support younger social workers, especially those with less experience, we would also want to look into their characteristics. I think the young social workers, they tend to be young and driven, and they have very high expectations of themselves. So as a profession, I think what we would want to do is to, help them build out the capability to achieve their career aspirations. And of course, to do that, one way would be to look into training and development. Equipping them with the right capabilities, and the family resource and training send young social workers to have that capability to meet. We also have regular workload validation exercises, and on top of that, we are also looking into job redesign, such as getting the right person to do the right work. And as a system, we can tap on different strengths of different social workers and bring them together as a collective.
Evelyn, as Wei Su mentioned just now, there is this difference. When we look at the study, the SUSS study shows that there is this difference between younger and older workers. But is this stress that we're seeing, the results of this study, is it a function of age? What about for the older workers as well? I mean, are we seeing stress for them too? I mean, what can be done to prevent stress, regardless of how old the social workers might be?
Okay. In the nature of the work is stressful, so because we are really dealing with the vulnerable populations of the society. So I think a certain level of stress is always expected in the profession, regardless of whether you're young or old, inexperienced or very experienced. And one of the key things that we really want to build on to help our social workers combat anxiety and mental health issues is really to look at building up that support, enhancing their professional capital, whether it's among their colleagues, peer support, supervisory support. But I think we are also looking at how can we bring social workers together as a collective, such that, as a profession, we can provide this mutual support. And sometimes having the right peer support outside of the organization is actually very helpful for us to take a more preventive approach, and we can exchange best practices, we can tap on each other for support. And when there's a need to, I think this is also where we could turn to a professional association to look into getting more support in enhancing our capability to overcome stress as well.
Evelyn, thank you very much for joining us and talking to us about this issue this evening. Evelyn Lai, there, Honorary Secretary, Singapore Association of Social Workers.